Carne asada, beef bulgogi. Carne asada versus Korean barbecue going down in full effect later on today. I'm actually recording this on June 17th. It's 8:46 p.m. I'm actually watching the Uzbekistan Colombia game going down right now. Colombia's leading 2-1 in the 85th minute, and this game has been it's been all right. It's been all right. I expected the Colombians to win a pretty handily 2-0, but they conceded. I gotta tell you, this World Cup has been just wide open, man. This truly could be the year of the underdogs. At least that's how it seems. I mean, I gotta tell you, I'm gonna get into the Mexico Korea game a little bit later on, but I just want to say when Curacao scored a goal, bro, against Germany at that, like it wasn't just a goal against another Caribbean team, Saint Kitts and Nevis or something like that, Barbados. Like they scored a goal against fucking Germany. Such a historic, rich, prestigious, football rich national team like Germany. It's absolutely insane. But when Curacao scored a goal against Germany, I kid you not, me and my wife started screaming, bro. Like we both got, well, I got up off the couch. She was already up off the couch. I jumped up off the couch, and we just started screaming like if we just saw Mexico score a goal in a semifinal of the World Cup. You know what I mean? Like it was just incredible. And I gotta say, people have been making a stink about the World Cup being hosted in the United States, and I'm one of the people who truly feel like Mexico should have been the sole host of this World Cup. I know it's maybe logistically it's a little harder for Mexico. Maybe they didn't quite have the infrastructure to support a World Cup of this magnitude, but I gotta say, the atmosphere has been unreal, man, at all of these games. The atmosphere has been incredible. The fans have been showing up and showing out. And when I say the fans, I'm talking about, every national team's, aficionados. They've just been showing up and showing out. Like, the Congo, I saw them play earlier today. The Congo and all the Congolese fans, bro, Ghana and all the Ghanaian fans. And by the way, that game between Ghana and Panama was actually very, very entertaining to my surprise. I just say to my surprise because I didn't have high expectations for that game in all honesty, but that was really entertaining. You had a Ghanaian fan in the crowd doing some kind of voodoo black magic shit. Like spraying powder into the air, and it worked because Ghana won. And I gotta say, they won against 12 because the referee seemed very, very in full support of Panama, to be quite honest with you. There were several challenges that they made that were more of a red card than what Cesar Montes got in the opening game. And I'm going to keep saying that because the fact that Leo Messi almost broke somebody's leg, man, with a really bad challenge, and it didn't even get a yellow card. It didn't even get I don't even think it got like a stern warning. And that's just classic Argent FIFA. That's classic Messi and the referees being all in his ass, in his back pocket. You know what I mean? Just absolutely despicable. Because here I am, a Mexico fan, and I saw Cesar Montes get a red card, ejected from the game, the opening of the World Cup. And he got ejected with a red card for far, far less. And fucking Leo Messi's over here breaking legs and shit and not even getting a yellow. Absolutely despicable. But nonetheless, let's keep this positive, man. This World Cup has been entertaining, if nothing else. Let me tell you, it's been entertaining, if nothing else. Now let's get into Carne Asada versus Bulgogi. Carne Asada versus Korean barbecue, because we got Mexico and Korea Republic. It's gonna go down tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific. Me and my wife actually might meet up with some friends in Koreatown for that game because it's gonna be lit. Like this is a once in a lifetime kind of thing too. Because that's kind of over dramatic. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know if I will ever see Mexico host a World Cup again in my lifetime. I don't know. FIFA has a very weird way of selecting countries now to host. It seems like they're very dead set on trying to bring, Saudi Arabia and China and India really into this sport. They're doing everything they can. That's why they expanded to 48 teams, if we're being real. And now there's rumors going around that they're going to expand to 60 teams for the 2030 World Cup, which is absolutely ridiculous. At that point, it's like, bro, just stop. Like, just bring back the Confederations Cup so we can get that, and then the World Cup back to 32 teams, bro. I mean, I don't know. The 48 teams so far, it's been entertaining. It's been fun. But realistically, like, even though some of these underperforming or so-called weaker teams, minnow teams, they've actually been, impressing to a degree. Like I said, Curaçao scoring against Germany, that's still the highlight of the whole World Cup for me personally. That's still the highlight. Besides, Mexico and their opening game with South Africa, I know I shitted all over that game. I honestly did not like the way Mexico played. They gave South Africa way too much respect. They played way too pragmatic and methodical, and I just, that's understandable. But like when a team is two players down, it's like, come on, man. Like, what are you afraid of? Like go balls to the wall. This is your house, bro. This is Azteca. What are you guys doing? But anyway, realistically, a lot of these underdog teams, they don't really have a prayer, to be honest. Like, we also can't look at group stage games and base how the knockouts and stuff are gonna go based on the group stage games. You know what I mean? It's just not. It's not realistic. There's levels. You know what I mean? It's like you have your friendlies where teams give like 50%, if that, and then you have group stage games where teams give 75%. Then you go into the knockouts, and this is where the teams are giving it their all. This is where the real blood, sweat, and tears start coming from. You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. The group stage is also, very, very tedious. And in fact, Mexico-Korea going down tomorrow, it's going to be a battle between the two teams who want to top this group. And it's actually more important for Mexico to top this group than it is for Korea, because Korea actually, they have an easier path should they come in second. Because if they come in second, they're going to play in SoFi Stadium, which might as well be their version of Estadio Azteca. Because, there's a lot of Koreans in Los Angeles. I mean, quite frankly, there's a lot of everybody in Los Angeles. You know what I mean? Los Angeles has to be one of the most multicultural hubs on the entire planet. There is a assload of Koreans, Armenians, Mexicans, Guatemalans, Salvadorans, Japanese. There's a lot of everything here, really. But I mean, for Koreans, this could be very beneficial. If they come in second, it could be very, very beneficial for them, because they'll play their knockout games, I believe, in SoFi Stadium. I'm pretty sure. So that's a big thing for them. As far as Mexico goes, we need to keep as many of the knockout games as we can in Mexico, because the climate, the elevation, the altitude, that shit really does come into our favor. Like, it can't be overstated. It can't be said enough. The advantage that Mexicans have in Mexico is just impeccable, man. Like, it truly is like a fortress. And it's like, man, if only we had better quality teams during, the World Cups that we hosted, man, we could have probably won it, bro. Like, that's how... Nah, I don't know. And we did have a good team in 86 especially, but that was long before my time. I wasn't even born yet during that World Cup. But nonetheless, let's get into the lineup, man. So for Mexico's lineup, it's gonna be largely the same. I'm not gonna go into Korea's lineup, to be honest with you guys. I'll just butcher everybody's name, and I don't really know all the players like that. Ooh, this Uzbeki player just got fouled nasty by Colombia's number 2. It's gonna be a yellow, papa. That's an amarillo right there. Oh no, it's not. Anyway, the lineup for Mexico is largely the same, minus Cesar Montes, who got to be taken out with that ridiculous red. That's the softest red card I ever seen at a World Cup. Real talk. And then I'm also hearing rumors that Israel Reyes is gonna ride the bench and Jorge Sanchez is gonna start, which is ridiculous as well. I don't understand that decision. The only thing, like I said in the last transmission, the only thing I can I can surmise is that Jorge Sanchez is a little bit more attack oriented than Nisra is, and so that's why El Vasco is putting him there. But I think that's a mistake. I think that we need a much stronger defender against the Korean attack. The Korean attack is so fast, dude. Their players are so fast, so speedy. You know, they're very explosive players as well, and that's a dangerous game to play, to put such a mediocre defender like Jorge Sanchez right there on the flank against these Korean wingers, Korean attackers who are fast, who are good on the ball. That's a dangerous. I mean, Aguirre is playing with fire, low key, by putting Sanchez in. But we'll see. Watch that Vato end up scoring a goal. That'll be so funny. I swear to God, bro. We'll never see the end of it, man. Or hear the end of it if he scores a goal. But nonetheless, yeah, so those are really the only omissions. Oh, and Gilberto Mora is also gonna start in place of El Guti. I think that Brian Gutierrez is getting a lot of flack from his performance in the opening, and I really I resent that. I resent that because that was his debut at a World Cup, bro. The dude's a young guy. He's in his early 20s, I think. He's a young cat, bro. Making his debut at a World Cup, and that's not even his. I mean, he's a Mexican citizen. He has Mexican citizenship. He's a dual nat, but his country of origin really is the United States. So this kid had a lot of pressure on him. I'm not trying to make excuses necessarily, but if you want to say that I'm making excuses, I think they're valid. This kid had a lot of pressure on him, bro. A lot of pressure. Like, bro, Ormiga and Mora both got subbed in the game. They didn't do shit. They didn't do anything better. I know Brian Gutierrez missed. He whiffed one of the shots. He had a clean shot on top. So did Fidalgo. Bro, Fidalgo was way worse. Like, he was literally right there in the box, like right in front of the net. And instead of shooting for a goal, he passed it he tried to pass it to somebody. I don't know, Raul or Quiñones, or I don't know who he tried to pass it to, and he could have made a goal right there. So that was a worse, mess up to me than anything that Brian Gutierrez did. I don't understand why we can't play both Mora and Brian. I really don't understand. I mean, obviously I'm not an expert. I'm not obviously I'm not a coach. I'm not a manager. I'm not a tactician. But I just, my rationale is that if you play Mora and Gutierrez both in the midfield, oh my goodness, Uzbekistan almost just scored a screamer, dude, from way out. Crazy. And Colombia is winning 3-1, by the way, in 90. This is actually going into 100 minutes. Wow. They had 8 minutes added on of extra time. They're going into 100 minutes now. That is crazy. Blow your whistle, ref. What are you doing? It's 3-1. The game just ended. Wow. Good performance from Colombia, to be expected. But don't sleep on Uzbekistan. Like I said before, they're a good team. Nonetheless, what was I getting at? Yes, so Mora and Brian, bro, you play them both in the midfield, and I feel like they can drift wide and also act as wingers. I know you lose your defense taking off Hidalgo, but that's why you put on Isra Reyes. Keep him at right back. Instead of Gallardo, put in Mateo Chavez. And don't have him overlap so much. You know what I mean? I think he's better than... I think Mateo Chavez is a better version of Gallardo, bro. Like, in almost every way, minus experience. But how's he gonna get experience if he doesn't get playtime? I don't know. There's a reason that Aguirre is a professional coach and I'm not. I'm an armchair coach with a bag of Doritos and a cold chela. But tomorrow night, I might be, eating some Korean barbecue, man, and drinking some Sapporo right there in K-Town. That'll be lit, hopefully. I think it's gonna be a good game. I hope it's a good game. I hope it doesn't end up being a boring ass, like, 1-1 draw or something like that. You know what I mean? I hope it ends up being a good game. My prediction still stands, man. I'm picking Mexico to win 2-1. I won't be surprised, though, if we end up getting like a 2-2, just like our last match, which was a friendly. But in that last game where Santi Jimenez actually, came in clutch and scored the goal for Mexico that led to a draw. Being that this game is taking place in Chivas Stadium, Estadio Akron, I feel like Ormiga should get an opportunity in this game. I know he was subbed on in the opening game, but I feel like this is the one he really should be subbed on. Like Santi should have been given a chance during the game against South Africa, and during the game against Korea is the one where Ormiga should be given the chance because that's his stadium, bro. It's literally the team he plays for, Chivas. You know what I mean? And so I think which is why it's even worse that they're taking off Brian Gutierrez. It's like, bro, he's a Chivas player too. Like that's literally his stadium, and you're gonna start Gilberto Mora instead. Now I love me some Gilberto Mora. Don't get it twisted. I'm very very happy and excited to see the kid get playtime. That's hell yeah. And I hope he scores. I'm actually predicting he's gonna. I really feel strongly like we're gonna get a set piece goal either from Raul or from Johan Vasquez, and we're gonna get a Gilberto Mora goal. I don't know why. I just feel it in my bones, man. I don't think Julian Quinones is gonna score again. I don't think he's gonna score in. Let me rephrase that. I don't think he's gonna score in this game. And the reason I don't think he's gonna score is because them Koreans are gonna be on that man like white on rice. They're gonna be on that boy. So he's not gonna score again. Not in this game. I don't think so. If he does, man, mazel tov to him. That'll be dope as fuck. But I'm predicting that we're gonna score a set piece goal via Raul Jimenez or Johan Vasquez, actually. Maybe even Edson, actually, because Edson's going to be playing CB. Maybe even Edson, if they keep him in the box. Or I don't know if they're going to have him as a sweeper over there while they take the corner kicks. But I could see Edson, Johan, or Raul all scoring a goal off of a set piece. And I just feel it, man. Like, Gilberto Mora is gonna sign his first goal in a World Cup right here. Firmala. And it's gonna be epic, bro. It's gonna be epic. I can't wait to see it. And I can't wait for the game. It's gonna be fun. The Korean people and the Mexican people seem to have like bonded, man. Like a lot stronger than I thought. I already knew Mexican fans and Korean fans have been really cool ever since 2018. If you don't remember, it was because of Korea that Mexico even got out of the group or something like that. Because they beat Germany. And so it was a tight group. I remember that. Only for us to get fucking slaughtered in the round of 16. But be that as it may, seeing all the videos on Twitter of the Korean fans and Mexican fans bonding, dancing in the streets, having a good time, supporting each other, and it's really cool. It's really refreshing too. It's really really refreshing. In a world that seems to be so divided, man. Like everybody just hates everybody today. Nobody's cool with each other anymore. It's just crazy. Like, bro, I have some neighbors here in my apartment complex. I have some neighbors that just like they don't say hi, they don't say good morning, they just walk right past you, and you get like, I don't know, like it doesn't offend me, but it just feels like, damn, man, like I don't know, like I was raised to, be a normal human being, like when you see somebody just say hi, hey, hey, how's it going? Good, okay, I don't know, man, I don't know what kind of tangent I'm trying to go on, but yeah, it's refreshing to see, nonetheless, the Korean and the Mexican people. Hey, the Korean and the Iranian people too, man, that's fucked up that Iran has to leave the United States after every game they play. They got to go back to Tijuana. And, that's going to be crazy if they, I can't imagine these fools are going to play a game in Canada and then have to, Canada, never mind. I don't think Canada has the same kind of policy that the U.S. has towards Iran. I don't know. But still, like, imagine, let's say if Iran plays in fucking New York, right? MetLife Stadium, New Jersey, whatever. And they gotta go all the way back to Tijuana from New York, from New Jersey. That's insane. All I know is that's crazy. That's crazy work. And I saw video clips of the Iranian people. Half of their coaching staff couldn't be there for the game with Iran, and I forgot who they played, but they were watching it on a big screen, and they were being served tacos and drinks, and that was cool, man. It's cool to see some positivity towards Mexico on social media. We're usually vilified and oh, Mexicans just bring drugs and they just do this, that, and the other. So it's cool to see another side of the token for once. Nonetheless, man, that's gonna do it. I just wanted to talk briefly about this game and about the festivities going down tomorrow. 2-1 Mexico, man. I gotta roll with Mexico. I could see a draw too, but put a gun to my head, whether I live or die, I'm rolling with Mexico. Bottom line.